Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to get into a variety of topics, but this first topic, $5,000 discounts are back on the Tesla Model 3, but only in this specific trim. We'll go through some of the biggest discounts on the Tesla Model 3 because you've got what, $10 days left to lock in 0%. So I figured we give some Model 3 discounts, Model 3 incentives, a little bit of love. So we're going to get into that plus a variety of topics. But before we do that, let's roll that intro really quick. All right, so thanks for watching another stream. Thanks for watching another video. My name is Dennis, and I love talking about Tesla deal hacking, as I like to call it. And if you've got a question, you want to send me a direct message, definitely check it out at my Patreon link down below in the description. And today's live stream is partnered with Mint Mobile, where you can save money on your mobile phone plan for as low as $15 a month, but more on that later. So yesterday we talked about the Tesla Model Y and how there have been some bigger discounts coming into the fold. Yesterday we found a Model Y that had a $10,000 discount. And to get to $10,000, you do have to use a Tesla referral code, just like the one down below in the description that stacks on an extra $500 discounts. But it seems like today, some of those have already gone missing or they've already been sold. So maybe Tesla's preparing. They're either taking down inventory or people are realizing that that big discount, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 off, is good enough for a Tesla Model Y, and they're looking to try and purchase it. But I do feel like there could be a financing incentive that could be coming out in the near future. But here's just a quick PSA on Model 3. We'll go through all the biggest discounts. Right now, the biggest discounts that you can get on a Tesla Model 3 are going to be on the Model 3 Performance, and specifically the demo status vehicles for the Model 3 Performance, like this one, 2024 demo vehicle with 1,690 miles on it at a $4,560 discount. Stack it with a Tesla referral code. Don't forget to click it before placing your deposit, and then you'll be able to stack it on to get a $5,000 discount total, or I guess $5,060 discount. Here's another one, same type of discount. Here's a Quicksilver one with a same discount as well. And so it really seems like, unfortunately, these don't qualify for the tax credit, but just a quick loophole. If you're looking to buy one of these, definitely I would recommend adding full self-driving, because when you add full self-driving, it essentially gets you to qualify for that $7,500 federal tax credit. So it's almost kind of like you're getting full self-driving for free, because it kind of wipes it out because you get that $7,500, because Tesla then waives the cost of paint when you actually do it. So a little bit of a quick loophole. And if you think about it, the $7,500 plus the referral code credit, just like the one down below in the description, that's $8,000, which equals the full self-driving. So a bit of a play here that Tesla is trying to do here with the Tesla Model 3 Performance, so that it can qualify for that $7,500 federal tax credit. But moving to the normal vehicles or the regular vehicles that are not performance, we've got a long range all-wheel drive $2,000 off at a $500 Tesla referral code. Here's another all-wheel drive $2,020 off. Here's another one, 2020 off, and a rear-wheel drive at almost $2,000 off, $1,820. And don't forget, stack it with a Tesla referral code to get an even bigger discount as well. Here's another rear-wheel drive at $1,820. If you're looking for the best deals, definitely check out our deal spreadsheet down below in the description, where we keep track of Model Y and Model 3 deals. Or if you want an easy platform where you want to track prices and, most importantly, set alerts for price drops, you can use the Tesla Price Tracker website, also down below as well, that we developed with Only Use Tesla, to try and give you an easy platform to find deals, find discounts, and most importantly, set alerts on these Tesla vehicles, because prices do change a ton. And right now there's 0% on the Model 3, but who knows what could happen with the Model Y. And if the Model Y gets 0%, that could change very, very, very quickly. And after you find and lock down whatever Model 3 or Model Y that you place with a deposit, don't forget to load up on accessories as well. And that's where our channel partner 3W Liners comes into play. This is by far my most favorite floor mat, all-weather floor mat at the moment. And all-weather floor mats are definitely like my top 3 accessories that I get right off of the bat. So I really like 3W Liners because even though they're higher quality than some of the other ones, they're actually better priced than some of the other ones as well. So like right now we're looking at the Model 3 version at $129, but if you use promo code Dennis, just like the one linked down below in the description, this brings it down to $97, a 25% discount on a Model 3 or even Model Y all-weather floor mat. Actually, they've got all the different vehicles, and we've got these all-weather floor mats on our Model 3, our Model X, and also on the Model Y that we just got as well. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let us know what your thoughts are. Let us know what you're thinking. I know certainly we are running out of time if you're looking to get a Model 3, especially at that 0%. Now you might ask me, will that 0% come back? I mean, I do really feel like it could come back. But also, I mean, Q2 is full with a lot of different surprises, I would imagine, in terms of non-launch. That is most likely going to take center stage. And I imagine we're not going to see a Model 3 incentive, or maybe we see like a 1.99, 2.99, but I bet we won't see a 0% again until like Q3 of later this year, or even maybe by Q4. And so if you're looking to lock in 0%, it might be your one and only chance for the next 6 months, because I don't envision seeing 0% happening again, especially for the Model 3. Maybe by December, we see 0% on both of the models, but at this point, I would say that is the prediction. And the reason why is because if you take a look at inventory for the Model 3, it's doing pretty well. You can see everybody is kind of lower at the graph of all the different inventory. Of course, Cybertruck is still saying hi. It's the most vehicle that's in stock, at least from what's posted on the website for Tesla inventory vehicles. So I imagine 1.99 is great, but I do feel like a better offer for the Cybertruck could be coming in the near future. But let us know what your thoughts on it. Let us know what you're thinking. So you've been shopping for a Tesla recently, but the monthly payment has probably got you rethinking your budget. Instead of sacrificing and cutting back on a brand new Tesla and getting your dream car, why not save on your monthly phone bill? And that's where our partner Mint Mobile comes into play here. We've also been thinking about getting a new Tesla, and constantly I like looking at our bills, monthly subscriptions, trying to see where we can cut back. Things like Netflix, YouTube Premium, and much more. And that's where I've been able to save on my monthly phone plan by going to Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month, and you can get high-speed data and unlimited talk and text on the nation's largest 5G network. You can bring your own phone along with your current number and existing contacts. It's really easy to switch service thanks to digital eSIM cards, which most of you now have. You can sign up and activate immediately right on your phone from the comfort of your home. If your phone doesn't have an eSIM, Mint will ship you a new SIM card for free, and it only takes 15 minutes. As you guys know, we've been traveling a lot pretty recently, so using Mint Mobile's mobile hotspot with our laptop has been pretty crucial and a game changer. So if you want to save money without the sacrifice, go to trymintmobile.com/DennisCW, also linked in the description, to get premium wireless starting at $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan. Thank you to Mint Mobile for partnering with us, and let's get on to the next topic. Thanks for that, everyone. And Lucas, great to see you. Betty, great to see you as well. Jack, great to see you. KFK, great to welcome in. Thanks for dropping by today. Terry, great to see you. We've got, and also Betty, I guess I already said that. Betty, thank you for dropping by. Thanks for hitting the like button, the comments and everything. Lucas, it's Thursday. Will non-launch come out? I mean, usually actually they make updates around this time. So more than likely, I think they're going to be waiting at this point because they don't want to muddy up for the end of the quarter and the end of March. And so my best guess, it's going to be 1 week before the earnings call next month. And so that's probably like an April 15th type of time frame would be my guess for that at the moment. Betty, Model 3 Performance needs to give you the free color so we can get the $7,500 tax credit. Yeah, I certainly thought that was like one of my predictions early on for Q1. But it seems like Tesla doesn't want to do that. And so I guess they're okay with all these Model 3 performances in inventory. You know, those performance demos get absolutely beat. I think I'm okay with that because around 1,000 to 2,000 miles is pretty much okay. I mean, at 1,800 miles, maybe it's a little on the higher end, but at $4,500 off, I mean, you can get a brand new set of tires for around 1,000 to 1,500. So you're still ahead $3,000. So I think I'm okay with that. Of course, the lower, I mean, under 1,000 miles is probably prime, but certainly I'm okay with under 2000 as well. 1500, I would be okay with that as well. Anything higher than that, yeah, I could see that really getting beat on and it might not be worth it. Jack, well, I guess I'll start wishing again for non-launch by next Thursday. Yeah, I think at this point, it's definitely not going to be by the end of March. It's going to be anytime between April 1st and maybe April 17th, like one of those Thursdays in those time frames, or maybe like a Monday or Tuesday, we could easily see something like that. I want a Model Y Performance, but my family will literally disown me. Terry, why would they disown you? Betty, any word on larger battery for the new Model Y? If that happens, that's going to be like years down the line of like a mid-cycle refresh. Tesla needs to come out with more color choices. Yeah, 100%. I agree. And I think they probably will with the non-launch. But in terms of like special edition colors, we will have to wait and see what actually happens with that. In this next topic, massive recall on a Tesla Cybertruck. Here's a little bit of explainer because every single Cybertruck, or at least almost every single Cybertruck, 46,096 Cybertruck has been recalled to service centers to get a fix done. And what is happening here is an exterior trim panel can detach while driving. Very interesting case here. It seems like they were glued on or whatever it is, and maybe that piece or that part could fall off after, I guess, a little bit of time. 46,000 units are affected from this, and this is the exact area, in case you were curious, on what actually is falling apart. So you might have seen some pictures of like the rear falling off or whatever it is. It's actually this top trim above the door, and this top trim, or it's also known as can trails, I think, that are falling off of the Tesla Cybertruck. But taking a look at it from to production numbers and delivery numbers, Troy Tesla posted this. Hi, everyone. Based on the latest DMV identification numbers, Cybertruck production this quarter is expected to be lower than in the last 3 quarters. Over the past quarters, my error rate has been average 1.4%. So it seems like Tesla is starting to ramp down production, which is an interesting one because certainly maybe there's too many Cybertrucks that are in inventory. And that's why we've got like an incentive right now of 1.99%. And that's why I might feel like it could get a lot better in the near future. But let us know what your thoughts are. If you got a Cybertruck, I guess head to your local Tesla service center so that they can get a recon done for you as well. Glass, thanks for coming in. Wow, I drove a Juniper and holy, the suspension feels 10 times better. So much more refined. See, it feels like a BMW Lexus with how good it is. I'm very impressed. Non-launch now, please. Yeah, and I sort of didn't feel the same way when I first did that first test drive for like 10 to 15 minutes. I mean, it was a very short one. I immediately felt the suspension differences, and then I immediately felt how it's less of a better, it's a better quality build at the end of the day, and less racket, less rickety noises and things like that, less rattling, which is really nice. But what's really been fun is we took our Tesla Model Y Juniper to service to get some couple things done. And they gave us a Model Y loaner, a Model Y 2022 or 2023, no, 2023 Model Y long range loaner. And wow, jumping back into the older vehicle after driving the new Juniper for the past 2 weeks, it was, I don't want to say horrendous, but it was definitely an experience. And now it's definitely got me thinking like the Model Y Juniper is a phenomenal vehicle. I've been saying, 30% more comfortable. I'm raising that up to 40% more comfortable and 80% better build quality with like no wind noise, everything. I've even made a video up because it impressed me that much. Steven, just got my VIN coming from an Austin location. Should I start financing an application or should I wait? As I saw, people got their VINs assigned, but then their VINs got removed later. I think those early people that got their removes later was a little bit of a glitch. I think at this point, if you've got your VIN and your delivery date is probably by the end of the month at this point, go ahead and start your application for your financing. You should be absolutely fine with that. And, this gives you time just in case there's any issues. Hopefully there isn't, which I think you'll be fine. But just in case, I think you could start now. Betty, does Unplug install display instrument clusters like a heads-up display? Betty, they actually do not. There's plenty of other companies out there. I've kind of been like lukewarm or mid on some of those like heads-up display, like the instrument clusters. I kind of like the clean look. I mean, it gives you the other things, but I certainly understand why some people would like that kind of stuff. But I think there's like other companies in the space out there. But no, Unplugged Performance, to answer your question, does not do that type of installation. In this next topic, In a surprising retest, we're talking about the Tesla vehicle, Autopilot or full self-driving, that vehicle ran into a wall. We're talking about the Mark Rober test. But in a surprising retest, shout out to Kyle with All Set Auto for creating this video and testing vehicles, because some of the vehicles, most notably this Model Y as shown right here, actually did not stop for that wall. And in this video, they actually had to use the brakes to stop because the Autopilot full self-driving system in hardware 3 did not stop for the wall. And so certainly a very interesting video. Here's the full video. You can take a look and watch for yourself. And it was actually a very interesting one to see that the Model Y did not stop. And it looks like it was about to go through the wall completely. But shout out to Kyle for thinking about this, or maybe even Kyle's wife, and they got a Tesla Cybertruck instead. And the Cybertruck, because it has hardware 4 and because it has that front camera in the front, it actually did stop for the wall. So it does seem like this is one of those cases where, because Tesla makes constant updates to the vehicles, and that could be why the Cybertruck has a front camera, the Model Y has a front camera, and maybe the Model 3 and every single Tesla refresh will also have a front camera in the near future. So very interesting to see that you actually have to have a front camera. And so maybe Mark Robo will do a retest with the new Model Y and actually do to see if it actually works, or maybe even a Cybertruck as well. But I might think that he might take like a Model 3 again, or a Model Y, the legacy one, but a brand new one, and actually test it. But still, good to see that, full self-driving will stop, and good to see that if you have a vehicle that has a front camera, it also will stop. So I imagine there's going to be some updates to the Tesla full self-driving system, and maybe there'll be a retrofit for people that have the older Model Ys to get a front camera as well. But a little bit of a TLDR, of course, go ahead and watch the full video yourself. Very entertaining to see the whole thing and to see what actually happened on another real world test out there. Glass, the old Model Y feels like a tank compared, but non-launch, man. The launch is 90K here, which is way too taxed. Yeah, that certainly is a ton of money. Also, do you recommend buying full self-driving or paying monthly? For the most part, if you're brand new to this and you've never experienced full self-driving or a Tesla, I would say don't risk that much money unless, $8,000 is not a lot of money to you. But I would say go ahead and do that $100 a month subscription or whatever that monthly subscription is first. Get that buy-in, see if you actually like it. Because if you've never driven a long-term with full self-driving, you might spend that $8,000 and waste that money completely. I can tell you, we've been driving Teslas, I want to say like since 2019, Model 3, Model Y, SX, Cybertruck, 3 Performance, and Model Y launch series right now. And it took me all the way till the Cybertruck to get, which is like a year ago, the Cybertruck to get full self-driving, to see how much has been updated to really be a believer. I would say the first 3 years of driving Teslas, I was a full self-driving hater. I told people, do not buy it. It's a waste of money. It doesn't work. And you're going to be beta testing and giving Tesla your money for, just for them to develop. But now, having been in the Cybertruck and the new Model Y, full self-driving actually works. It's a game changer. But you still have to kind of understand what it's trying to do, because it's still a computer. And so it might do weird things at times. Like right now, full self-driving is great, but it keeps wanting me to go in the HOV lanes, but it can't recognize that I'm only one person. And so I have to cancel it a bunch. But other than that, weird stuff like that, because it's just trying to get you to your destination ASAP and quicker. And so when it recognizes that there's other people in certain lanes, it wants you to go to the other ones. So stuff like that, you might get annoyed and you might feel like you're wasting money. And so I would hate for you to waste that $8,000 and then feel like, oh, this doesn't work for me. So I'd rather you start with like the $100 a month type of thing first and then tier up, because $100 a month, you could test it for a few months, you could cancel it, you can come back to it when some newer updates are out there. And on top of that, with Tesla vehicles these days, they're giving those free trials to, I think, everybody that buys a Tesla. You get one right off the bat. And so certainly I would say you might as well just not get it off the bat until you're bought in yourself with full self-driving. Hopefully that's some good advice. Harvey, thanks for coming in. IT, hi Dennis, what inspired you to start your YouTube channel? Have you always been looking to find deals your whole life? Being Jewish, I was already born with a coupon in my kosher DNA. Nice, IT daddy. Basically, yes, I've always loved deals. I've always loved hacking and trying to, not beat the system, but because there's always, if there's a will, there's a way. And especially when you're doing car deals, right? You can usually, when you buy a vehicle, there's all these different discounts and all these different things like in a traditional dealership. And so when I first stumbled on a Tesla, I was like, there's gotta be some sort of discount, some sort of way to save money. And so I spent hours researching before I bought my first Tesla. And so I figured most people are not going to do this. So I want to give some more insight because like you might not know. I mean, most people like you all that are watching are accustomed to finding these inventory discounts, but I bet a lot of people just arrive on the homepage like this and they click order now, and then they pick out the different options and they give Tesla their $250 and don't even know that they could potentially save, thousands by using a Tesla referral code, just like the one down below in the description, or thousands, even more thousands by finding inventory vehicle discounts on top of that. And so a lot of people are just leaving essentially money on the table. And so that's why I felt like it was a good idea to focus on this and to spread the word out there that you could save thousands of dollars if you just navigate the website a little bit differently for your Tesla purchase, which, I mean, Tesla vehicles, electric vehicles are expensive, and it's vehicles in general are your like second largest purchase. So really giving the most information as possible to help you get the most value as possible. RM, I drove a Juniper at a local dealer and it was a pretty bad whistling noise at speed about 50 miles an hour. I'm sure it was just a loose seal around the window or something, but definitely a bumper. RM, oh, interesting. Yeah, that might have been a bad one, but certainly at the end of the day, the Juniper is great. Tons of improvements over the over the last one, but it's still a Tesla at the end of the day. And there's a video coming out soon on our channel where we took our Tesla to service because, it's still a Tesla at the end of the day. It's just small stuff here and there for the build quality and stuff. Pablo, when inventory says price reduced, is the 7,500 incentive included in this discount or is it additional? Pablo, great question. It is additional to the 7,500. And you know what's also additional? A Tesla referral code, just like the one down below in the description, where you can save up to $1,000 off. Like this one, for example, you can see here it says $4,560 discount if we enable full self-driving because this is a Model 3 Performance. You can now see it says include the 7,500 federal tax credit. If you go all the way to here, all the way at the bottom, and if you include taxes and fees, usually it gives you the breakdown and it shows you all the different price differences and everything. But for some reason, it's not doing it here. I guess it's glitched out. Maybe, you know what? This one could be sold, I bet, already. Yep, look at that. It actually sold already, which is pretty crazy to see that. And so let's see if we can get it to populate on this one. It's also sold. Interesting. Maybe all of these sold already. Let's see if we can get one populated so I can show. Wow, all of these sold. That's not good. Did Tesla just change their inventory? It seems like they might have changed their inventory for Model 3. Very interesting to see here. So let's see if we go to include estimated taxes, also not available. Wow. Okay. So I guess all of these are getting repriced or changed or something. Let's see here. Edit savings. Let's go to finance. I'm just trying to get it to trigger to show you that there's an inventory discount and, okay, I don't know. I give up at this point. But yes, basically it's an additional. When you see an inventory discount, you also see the 7,500 if it qualifies. And on top of that, and the referral discount, it's all itemized and everything. You think it's still worth to wait for the new Model Y incentive or purchase now? A1, great question. If you're paying cash or if you're financing a pretty low amount, like if you're doing like a 50 to 60% down payment, then yes, go ahead and try and lock a $10,000 or $9,000 or $8,000 off Model Y. If you're financing though, I would probably keep waiting. Does the full self-driving transfer to new cars you buy? Glass Film's a great question. It only does during certain time frames when Tesla is running the promotion for certain areas. I think Canada, maybe they did that for a little bit, but they've since taken that away across all markets. So at the moment, full self-driving does not transfer. But of course, Tesla at any moment could change that. And so maybe that could be changed. I would love to see where if you purchase full self-driving once, it like sticks to your account and then it would be on to all of your vehicles. That would be lovely. In this next topic, Tesla has a demand problem, and they've got a demand problem for the Tesla Cybertruck. And This is why I really feel like this is just the beginning of Cybertruck incentives. They've tried everything this first quarter, if you think about it, but maybe it's not Tesla's fault, or maybe there's just a lot more competition in the space in this heavy truck, expensive type of market timeframe. Because I'm going to show you something at the end of this, which shows massive depreciation for another heavy truck that is also a competitor of the Tesla Cybertruck. But interesting headline here, Tesla confirms it can sell the Cybertruck, even the tax credit and discounts. Of course, this is from Fred, who is very anti-Tesla, but we like to go through this stuff because there was a lot of different Cybertruck incentives in this first quarter. There was free wrap, there was free supercharging. Now there's 1.99% financing across all Cybertrucks, including free supercharging if you get a Foundation Series Cybertruck. And if you qualify for the tax credit, you can get a Cybertruck for as low as around $72,000 to $73,000, especially if you factor in that Tesla referral code, just like the one down below in the description, to save $1,000. But taking a look at it, says that Tesla has only delivered 46,000 Cybertrucks because of that recall that just happened as well. And so it looks like production has been trending downward. Quote, this would be significantly down for the last 2 quarters when Tesla is estimated to have delivered between 10 to 12,000 Cybertrucks. By comparing them to previous numbers, it means that Tesla is only going to deliver between 7,000 and 8,000 Cybertrucks in Q1 of 2025. And that would make sense because if you look at inventory charts, this maroon line is Cybertruck inventory, and from the looks of it, it looks like Cybertruck inventory is the highest amount of inventory for Tesla vehicles across the line here. And so certainly, but I really feel like there's a lot more competition in this space. There's this headline from Inside EV says that EV sales were up in February, but Tesla keeps falling. And what's happening here is that there's a lot more electric vehicles, a lot more electric vehicle competitions, and most importantly, there's a lot more electric vehicle lease deals in the $200 to $300 a month time frame. And so there's a lot of essentially noise of all these different payments out there. And so people might get confused and or distracted. And of course, there's just competition for all these different ones that are out there. I mean, speaking of competition, take a look at this. A Hummer EV electric truck is basically the same price as a launch series Model Y MSRP 2022 GMC EV edition at $65,000. This is like an over $100,000 vehicle. Or a 2024, of course, it does have 60,000 miles, which is absolutely insane, for $68,000. So essentially hit 50% off on an electric truck like a Hummer vehicle, a lot of vehicle for this type of price range. And so there's certainly just a lot more incentives, a lot more discounts, and a lot more competition in the high dollar electric vehicle space. But that's why I really feel like there's going to be a cheaper Cybertruck getting released later this year, maybe even a Cybertruck rear-wheel drive. Here's another report. Tesla reportedly plans to soon introduce a long-awaited battery innovation in Cybertruck, which could sharply reduce manufacturing costs. Plans to introduce dry cathodes later this year. So this could reduce the cost of Cybertrucks, which hopefully reduces the price of Cybertrucks. And maybe we'll see a $50,000 Cybertruck after tax credit later this year as well, which would also muddy up all these different prices for Cybertruck. Because if someone sees a $50,000 or $60,000 Cybertruck and then they see an $80,000 all-wheel drive Cybertruck, which one are they going to be wanting to go for? Of course, there's different dynamics to this between wheel-wheel drive and all-wheel drive, but still very interesting to see all of this. But let us know what your thoughts are. Let us know what you're thinking. My question to you is, if you're in the Cybertruck market right now, what are you doing? Are you buying at 1.99%, or are you waiting these next few months for a bigger incentive? Because if 1.99 is already here now in Q1, who's to say we see something crazy for Q3 or Q4 this year? But let us know what your thoughts on it. Let us know what you're thinking. We're going to jump into the live stream comments. So congrats on buying your Tesla, or you're about to just buy your Tesla. But now here's the second most exciting part. That's accessories. And there's a ton of accessories out there, probably even way too much. And I try and bucket it into the top 3 accessories that you can get. And that's going to be phone mounts, all-weather floor mounts, and center consoles. A good set of all-weather floor mounts is probably my #1 recommendation. And I've got a bunch of links and discount codes to all the accessories that I recommend down below in the description and on our best deal spreadsheet on page 2. Check check out this one from Jawa that we use on all of our Teslas, link down below, or their center console, which I also use on all of our Teslas as well. A must have because Tesla doesn't come with a center console. But my number one accessory I recommend is going to be all-weather floor mats, and I bucket it from 3 different options: good, better, and best. The good ones are going to be the ones that you find on Amazon. Better is going to be the ones from like Tasmanian. But my favorite, all-time favorite that we have on our Model X and Model 3 Performance currently is going to be a set of all-weather floor mats by 3W Liners. If you use our promo code down below in the description, you'll find that the price of these floor mats are pretty in line with some of the other ones at a much higher quality material. So thank you to everybody that's used our links to support the channel, and let's get on to the next topic. Thanks to everyone. Betty, your dog needs a playmate. Yeah, he just loves being in here. Actually, he always barks at the door when we start because he wants in. He wants to join in on the fun. Mel, do you think they'll have the program where you can transfer your full self-driving to the new Juniper? I think so, yes, but it's probably going to be all the way till Q4. When and do you think Tesla will offer 0% APR and deeper discounts on the Model Y Juniper Performance? Ooh, that's GG. That's going to be a while because A, the Model Y Performance isn't even out yet. I think that's going to be a Q3 to Q4. And I would say maybe a 0% offer on that in December, but more than likely that's going to be a next year. Steven, did you mention the bumper dent on the service center? I haven't checked on it, but no, I forgot to actually. And it's really not that big of a deal to me because it's going to happen no matter what. Take your Model Y to the track. Betty, great question. And actually, Tesla Corsa is coming up. Tesla Corsa is coming up in April. And I believe if you use promo code Dennis, you can take your Tesla to Tesla Corsa as well. Link down below, or maybe it isn't. I don't know, whichever it is, but we're thinking about it. I got to see if we have time in the schedule to that because it's kind of an all-day affair. Tesla 54, is this nationwide? It seems like there's a lot of $4,500 off discounts on the Model 3 Performance or $5,000 discounts on the Model 3 Performance. So yes, yeah, I mean, take a look at it and you can see for yourself if there's any in your area. Michelle, apparently CT sales sucks. 46,000 sales for 15K, 15 months of Tesla numbers. A lot of lies. Guess why? F Elon. Nice, Michelle. Thanks for coming in. Gregory, do all Teslas have lease to own? There's practically no inventory in Central Florida, only Model Y Performance. Gregory, so all Teslas have lease and then you can buy it out at the end of it to loan, but you do have to have outside financing or finance it through a credit union or whichever it may be. Time to sell your Cybertruck, Betty. Hey, maybe it is time to sell it. Andrew, I'm test driving in Juniper tomorrow despite the protesters at my local Tesla sales center. Yeah, it seems like there's protesters all over and they're choosing Friday to do it. I kind of want to go check out one of them and just like, I don't know, just see what what's in their head with like Tesla vehicles and what's going on. Saw your extra post about non-launch Model Y in Australia and NZ. Waiting on US release. Yeah, we're also waiting as well. And I still think it's going to be next month, but who knows? To be honest, the Model Y Juniper efficiency is not great. I can see 2 inventory cars already. Yeah, the other day we talked about how it was already in inventory. And I bet as they finish out March, which is going to be the launch series delivery month, they'll pivot to the non-launch, which I imagine at this point is going to be early April for an announcement with deliveries like maybe like May to June at this point for that vehicle. But thanks for jumping in, everybody. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for hitting the like button and comments and everything. And I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.